So, Chris, I have to address something with you. If if you are going to put like shirtless pictures of yourself on Instagram, I need you to try harder.
Try harder.
I need you to try harder. Like if you're going to be a full Instagram model, because this isn't the first time you've done it, you know what I mean? It's probably the third, fourth, fifth time you've done this. And if you're going to do this so many times, I need you to be better at it.
Okay.
I need you to use some filters.
Ooh.
I need you to study some of the greats, like the Kardashians, and learn how to be a for real IG model. Because we're not going to go halfway in. If I have to see you with no shirt on, I don't want you to go halfway in. I want you to go full in. Okay?
Lighting's important too, right? You got to get some quality, LED bulbs in the bathroom, in the room, whatever it may be. I'm not saying you got to get one of those circle selfie lights. That's really going to bring out the features. So maybe that is what you want. That's another investment. But I'm just saying, I know you got some LED bulbs sitting around. Maybe, lighting's a big thing too.
I mean, if there's stuff out there that can make me look better, I'm all ears. So.
There you go.
If you wanna create a shopping list for me, I'll get to purchasing the necessary equipment so that I can fit in on fitness IG.
Yeah, because we're looking out for you, Chris. It's like we need you. If we're gonna do this, we need you to oil up. Like I don't know what kind of essential oils you have at the house.
Hey, I watch enough wrestling. I know what they do to do. Yeah, I know that. I know the right way to do that.
Exactly.
That's big time on there. The baby oil, get lathered up. Let's go.
Yeah. It's like, do you think The Rock became The Rock by just being out there dry? You know what I mean? No. Oiled up.
Yeah.
Okay. Next time I'll keep this in mind.
Yeah.
I'll try and find some oils to accentuate the weight loss. I guess.
There it is.
Yeah. We need you to get a better photographer too. So yeah. Gonna have to fire the photographer. Gonna have to get better at that.
It's bad, huh?
Yeah. I'm just letting you know. Like it's not that it's bad. It's just that like I don't want to see you shirtless. But so if you're gonna do it, like I just want you to
better look sexy.
I need you to look sexy.
We're just trying to drive sales. We're just trying to drive sales for the company. That's all it is, right?
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. And since this is the best commercial for Chris Gates Fit of all time. Tell people where they can find that, Chris.
Yeah.
They can find my company at chrisgatesfitness.com. And none of my IG photos or marketing materials, they actually purposefully never use a filter or Photoshop or anything like that because I want to be as far removed from the other fitness influencers on the internet as I can possibly be. So while they're rocking their oils and their filters and all that type of stuff, I'm just going to keep taking, the cell phone progress pictures like a normal person and show you how to do it the right and normal way.
Okay, so is that like enough?
Yeah.
That's the mission statement. We don't use oils at Chris Gates Fitness. Amazing. Well, guys, welcome to the Brunch Breakdown. I'm Didi out here in LA. Chris and Dan are in Pittsburgh, and we had to talk about Chris being shirtless. So at Chris Gates Fit on Instagram, make sure you go check it out and give him a comment and let him know he should use oils. All right. But today on the show, we've got a lot of food to get to. We are very food heavy. One thing we're going to try to get into is talking about this crazy gender reveal party that has turned into a huge fire in California that's still ongoing. We're going to talk about something called a zomelet. We're going to talk about Dan's peanut butter and jelly beer that he had. We've got a food situation story that I can't wait to hear about. This Jelly Belly factory. We got a lot. Boneless chicken wings. We got a lot to get to today when it comes to food. So, guys, let's get it started with get it off our chests. And Chris, since we were just talking about your chest, why don't you start it?
That was beautiful.
Hell of a transition.
Beautiful.
You're welcome.
Well, oddly enough, I'm going to talk about social media, and some of this advice may pertain to you guys consuming my fitness content. But we talk about social media a decent amount on our fair podcast. And I feel like we often are ripping things about social media. So people's behaviors, certain people, certain trends, all stuff like that. And I do want to touch on that stuff, but I want to touch on it in a positive way in the end. Hopefully this makes sense. I feel like I've been all over the place with social media over the last week, and I'm going to try and pull it all together. So first, I do want to touch on just like social media behaviors. So I've seen a lot of people on my timeline recently getting really jammed up and upset about opinions from people about like the government or the coronavirus. And these are the opinions of people who really should not ever matter to you. Like, if your favorite sports writer has an opinion that clashes with you about wearing masks, I don't understand why that impacts you at all. So I want to point that out because like we need to think about the people that we give authority to when it comes to our social media followings. And even beyond that, one of the most 2020 moments of the year happened last week, the day after we recorded our last episode, where this whole situation came out where like this researcher from Penn State came out. He made this huge claim about serious symptoms of COVID-19, and everybody took it and they ran with it and were freaking out about it. And then by the end of the day, the guy issued a retraction, said it wasn't true. But by that point, people had ran with it so far that they made it true, regardless of if it's true or not. And I just want to like lay that stuff out there because there are actually very few people right now that you should be treating as experts with this stuff. And those people that are experts, I'm pretty positive you're not following them. So the thoughts and opinions of the people that you are following are just thoughts. They're just opinions. They shouldn't really matter to you, and you don't have to focus on them or dwell on them. So that's where we get to the positive spin of this, is that like we all have full and complete capabilities to create a timeline that we enjoy. There are mute buttons. There's the unfollow feature. There's the follow feature for people that you like. And I just want to encourage people to use those and, set something up that doesn't make you miserable every day, because I feel like social media has turned into, over time, this thing where it just elicits a negative response, and then people are just constantly searching for a negative response on social media every day. But you don't have to do that. Like, you could use it to find things that are positive and that make you happy every day. So I want to encourage everybody to clean up the timeline a little bit and try and find things that make you happy, because really you should try to be happy every day. And I bet that would go a long way to just improving the day-to-day on social media.
I like it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I'm with you. And one thing about that, I know that the story you're talking about with the guy from Penn State, and it was like 30% of all athletes. I was like, that sounds wrong. I don't know. Yeah. But I think that's another situation like we talked about, a couple months ago, just about these really smart people trying to jump into the social media pool, and they say something that you should really just be saying to somebody who knows what they're talking about, not to everyone. Because what ended up coming out in the report was like, he meant 30% of something else, not 30% of all athletes or whatever that have been tested, which is like a crazy thing to say. But if you were trying to fit into 100 and, 4 or 200 and whatever characters, that gets messed up. And I just really wish that like they had translators for them. Like, go to somebody and say, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happened there. It was like this guy had actual data with this, but it's like when you try to put this into 280 characters and you try to, jump into the social media pool where everyone's going to take this thing and run with it and it becomes a headline, like you just can't do that. And yeah, like I just wish more smart people would just stay off of social media, to be honest.
Yeah, for real. That's
long form things.
Yeah, that's the big downside of it, Chris. I think you're right. You make a point where people are almost hesitant to unfollow people that they're not happy with following because they're trying to find some sort of like, oh wait, there's still something that there's a reason that I follow this person. They're like waiting for that good thing to come back, and it never does. It's just the way that people give the opinions now. It's to everything. So you just have to rip the cord, you know what I mean? Every once in a while, you got to unfollow, and don't worry about your timeline getting all jacked up. It will. You're going to find somebody else that you're actually going to like, and it's okay. It's not like friendships where you're trying to keep them for the rest of your life. You can unfollow people and find new ones and just keep it fresh, keep it clean, keep it custom to what you want. You can actually, on a lot of those things, like you said, use the mute button or unfollow and get rid of the stuff that you don't want to. I'm guilty of that. I'll be going through my own timeline and it makes me mad sometimes at these certain people. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm choosing to listen to this. What am I doing? You know what I mean? So it's about making those choices and making your life better. I like that.
Yeah. A few clicks could improve the day-to-day dramatically. Every once in a while, you got to do some inventory, clean up the timeline.
Yeah.
Yes, this whole thing is supposed to be fun, and you also said like people who you shouldn't be listening to, like the people in high school that you knew were stupid that you're friends with on Facebook because like we all were friends on Facebook back in 2004. You don't have to get mad about their political like leanings, what doesn't matter which way they lean. Like they were stupid 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're stupid now. Why are you paying attention to? What are you giving any weight to what this person has to say? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Dan, get it off your chest.
Well, gentlemen, as you know, I shared my engagement story a couple of weeks ago. So naturally, very interesting time to be planning a wedding, getting married, all that jazz. But my personality, and I made this clear from the get-go, my fiance was aware of this, that I was going to have opinions on things for the wedding. So I'm like 100% all on board. I'm ready to co-plan the party of the century, as you both know. And I knew that weddings were expensive, but wow, it's absolutely insane why things cost what they cost when planning a wedding. And I'm preaching to the choir here with my two co-hosts here. You two know, you have been there. This is for the greater good of America that haven't been down that road yet, that you best be ready. If you want to do something unique, if you want to do something big, you best be ready to be forking over a lot of cash because these things are crazy expensive. We are learning that the hard way, the very hard way. So I'll say this to our male audience. I think it's very typical, maybe stereotypical for men to not be involved or, oh, I don't care, whatever you want when planning a wedding. Don't be like that. Don't be that guy. I'm telling you, if you knew what that dollar amount was at the end, and if it's the bride's parents or whoever's parents, whoever's sharing it, if you don't have a lot of cost associated with coming out of your wallet, you would care if you knew. So I'm just telling you, to everybody, both sides really, care about this thing, care about planning a wedding, because the amount of money that goes into it is insane. So it's from the venue to the food. Like, why are we paying for this crazy food? Food doesn't cost this much. Maybe we need to get into the catering business for weddings, guys. I mean, holy cow, it's ridiculous. So all I'm saying out there is care, have an opinion. Don't just say whatever you want, because those dollars add up big time, and you best care, because this is for one day. The dollar amount for one freaking day. Best day of your life, but one day. You best have some opinions, and you best care, and you best come to the table with those. So just a little advice as I'm early in this process.
Oh, God. I don't even want to think. I just bringing, like, you just talking just brings back up all of the memories of money in that one day. That one day that was a great day. I mean, it was an amazing day. We did everything we wanted to do, but all one day.
It's a huge investment for one day. And yeah, there are a ton of details, and some of them are more important than others, but make sure that you make the right decisions, because all those details add up big time. Choose your priorities of what's worth spending the extra dollars on.
That is the operative word Dan details, because the hidden fees lie in the details. Like the stupid shit that you pay for, like cake cutting fees. Like, come on, man.
Right.
Really? And like look in the contracts, look through what we get the line by lines of why things cost, what is associated with each cost. I remember the one thing that sticks out to me was we were at the venue and talking about like add-ons, and they told us how much money it would cost for them to put bows on the chairs. And I was like, you must think I'm out of my mind to want to pay you that much money for an effing bow on a chair. No, we won't go bowless. Everybody will sit in their chairs. They will not care what the chair looks like. Unbelievable. Yeah, the hidden costs, man. They add up.
Like staff charges and all the aside from taxes, all the different fees. You're exactly right. And it's not all the same. Every venue is different. So you have to find those things when you're creating your spreadsheet of the dollars and the budget. You have to find those things separately because of some have it inclusive, some don't. Like one venue is telling us that we could have, like the bistro string lights that are basically at every outdoor restaurant and bar on Central Street in America. Everybody has them. I have them in my patio. For a room not that big, they're charging $500 to put the lights up, which they probably already own. $500. Are you kidding me? So details, priorities, yes. Check every single line.
Dan's going to have a dark wedding. You better believe it. There's not going to be any lights at this wedding.
Your flashlights, it's going to be dark in there.
Listen, as somebody who had to pay for lights and had to have all those light conversations because I got married at night on New Year's Eve, fam, we paid a ridiculous amount of money for, I think it was like 2 lamps that they didn't even tell us how to turn on. So like shouts to my friend Raj, who actually had to go and turn the one. I was like, why does everything look so dark out there? Like people are out there and we're getting ready to walk out. I'm like, everything looks really, really dark out there. And then I was like, Raj, fix this. And then all of a sudden the lights were on, but they didn't tell us how to like do it. So like they were just on, but they were like not bright at all. But what was another, there are so many stupid fees. Oh, I remember like the wedding coordinator girl, right? She comes up to me, which was our second one. I know Chris went through a few the venue coordinators too.
That's another thing. Ours left like a week before the wedding. Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's the most annoying thing because then you have to then somebody else is like planning your wedding that you had been planning with. It's a whole freaking annoying thing. And she comes up to me after the wedding's over. We pop the confetti at midnight and all that. She comes up to me and goes, "Oh man, we have a confetti cleaning charge of $150." And I looked at her with I don't even want to know what my face looked like. Because literally we had we planned this wedding that had all of this stress to do with it because we did it in 6 months or 7 months or whatever. And she says this to me in the happiest moment, the moment that we've been talking about this whole time. She comes up to me and says that shit. And I was like, you said this to me for a reason, because Siobhan would have punched her in the face. There's no question. She would have punched her in the face. And we ended up, we told them that at the end, after we when we settled the whole bill thing or whatever, and we told them that, and they were took the charge off or whatever. But we literally had to complain and get very angry with our final bill thing, because there was just a couple of things on there where you can't be serious.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
That reminds me of how you learn at the end of it too, how many people you have to tip afterwards. So you pay all that money and then there's 12 tips you have to give out.
Yep. Yeah, that was my job. I gave out tips at your wedding.
Hey, yeah, handing out the envelopes.
Handing people envelopes. I was loving it.
We gave you way too much cash that night.
Way too much. And I still can't believe I didn't mess it up. That's the thing. I'm very surprised that I didn't lose any of it. Because I was honestly
get an envelope and you get an envelope.
Yeah, because awesome. As the alcohol started to go, I'm very impressed with myself that I didn't lose it. I'm surprised I didn't lose it whenever we played Turn My Swag On the party bus. I'm very surprised that everything just didn't fly out of my pocket. So I'm proud of myself for that. But yeah, Dan, you're in for, it's a wild ride. So
there'll be a lot of these
You're
type of segments over the next months. I'll just check in with something I got to get off my chest from the wedding planning. So enjoy. You'll be on the ride with us.
Nice.
Yes. Love it. All right, guys, I want to get this off my chest. I watched the Kentucky Derby. I am a huge horse racing fan because my uncle used to take me to the track when I was like way too young to go to the track, right? So I know a lot about horse racing. And I love the Kentucky Derby. I love the whole Triple Crown, the Preakness and everything. I love it. But doing this with no crowd, it was weird. I'm watching it on TV and I'm like, this feels like a racetrack, a sad racetrack on a Thursday night. Like any racetrack in the country on a Thursday night where there's horses going, but no one is there. That's what the Kentucky Derby felt like. And we've talked about this a lot because, we've got football going in full swing and I'm very interested to see what the NFL feels like to me. But I realized how much I miss how much fans mean to events, right? And like maybe not every game will feel like this, but the NBA is starting to feel like this because we're in the second round and these games are like really, really good. But like you have a buzzer beater happen in the Raptors Celtics game, nothing. You've got Russell Westbrook like dunking on people and then yelling at nothing. And it's like, and then they pan the camera over and he just like was like screaming, yeah, like let's effing go. And it's like the families in the bubble with their like 2-year-olds. And like it's weird. I really just don't like it. And I am a big boxing fan too. And there's a huge fight that's supposed to happen in December. And I don't want it to happen with no fans. Like I can't have it happen with no fans because it will just be weird.
Where is it?
It's supposed to be in Vegas. So, and it's Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. And it's supposed to, and it's going to be a huge fight, huge heavyweight fight. And I just don't want it to happen now. Like watching the Kentucky Derby really like scared me. It made me feel like I need fans back. I need people in the stands. This pumped in crowd noise does not work for me. I need it for the big ones. It's not going to be like an everyday thing. Like West Virginia plays some directional school from Kentucky. I don't need fans there for that. No fans should be there for those games when fans are allowed to be in stadiums anyways. Like no one needs to be there for that. But like when you get into the Big 12 schedule, like you're going to have West Virginia, Texas with nobody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to need people there. I realized that this weekend that like, I just need people. So
we need them back. I imagine that had to be like watching a racetrack at some casino where the horses are just running and you're just watching that with like all the numbers on the screen. And it's just that you have no idea what race it is. They're just racing. You're watching numbers and it's just, okay, there goes the next set of horses. It's just, ooh, I hope, our 1 year cycle without fans is going to make us appreciate them even more, I think. But you're right, those big moments, we're getting more and more big moments because everything that was postponed, delayed, the majors in golf, the majors in tennis, even there's some really, really strange things going on without fans and it doesn't have the same feel.
Yeah, I got that feeling on Monday night, actually. I was watching BYU Navy and they were in an empty stadium and like normally that Monday night game for college football on Labor Day is like the marquee game. And obviously things changed. It wouldn't have normally been this specific game.
Yeah.
But there was like one midshipman in the stands and you could tell he was like super high ranking dude because he had like a million things on his uniform. He was just like in the upper deck by himself with a face mask on. He was the only person in the stands watching the game. And I was just like, this isn't why I come to watch college football. Like there's a tradition, there's an atmosphere. And the same thing with Kentucky Derby. There's a tradition, there's an atmosphere. You want to see the infield crowded. You want to see all the women in the crazy hats and stuff. Like that's part of it. So it's, it's going to be interesting to see how this all continues to unfold. And like you said, Didi, is it going to mean the same thing to us as the games get bigger? I don't know.
Yeah, like I am very interested to see how this all goes. And that was just the first one, but yeah, because it was so weird hearing the announcers doing the same thing the announcer does, and down the stretch they come, and no one is making any noise. Like it was just so weird, and it has been stuck in my head since Saturday. Just like a Kentucky Derby experience. And it's like, and we've been in Vegas when the Kentucky Derby is going on and stuff. And like, and you just feel that energy wherever you are. And you just felt no energy coming from anywhere. It hurt. It hurt. But I'm interested to see. I hate to be the Debbie Downer with all these stuff coming back, but like, it just made me nervous.
Yeah.
That's all. Well, guys, let's get into the main course, which is a lot of food this week. Dan, really quickly, you had peanut butter and jelly beer this week.
Absolutely, I did. And to put it in a word, it was incredible.
Really?
Absolutely incredible. I'm a huge peanut butter and jelly fan as it is. Huge peanut butter fan. I literally have peanut butter every single day of my life. So naturally, when one of our local breweries here, who I'm a huge consumer of anyways, Hitchhiker Brewing out of Pittsburgh, announced kind of the first stout of the season. There's not a lot of stouts and porters that get released throughout the summer, but they decided to be the first one up and go with a peanut butter and jelly, raspberry jelly to be specific, stout. And it was amazing. It smelled exactly like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Lots of peanut butter. And there was almost a sourness from the raspberry. And as a fan of sour beers, I very much appreciated that. It's complex. It tastes exactly like it smells. It was amazing. It sold out like crazy. It's doing really, really well. It was called Jelly Debate, and the debate is over. It's an amazing beer. So as much as I love summer beers and sours and fruited beers and different things like that, we've got our fall beers, pumpkin beers, but if stout season's gonna be anything like that, get me on board, because I love how creative these local craft breweries are getting now. Peanut butter and jelly beer. Are you kidding me? It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
And if Hitchhiker would like us to, you can use code BRUNCH10 when you do your online ordering. Get yourself some peanut butter and jelly beer.
And if I can find the right venue and they could save a keg of that, we'll have it at the wedding, and that'll go really, really well. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Let's go, Hitchhiker. Let's make this happen.
I gotta try this. That was I saw it on Instagram and I wrote it down immediately. I was like, I have to find out about this whole thing. So yeah, good. Peanut butter and jelly beer. All right. Well, Chris sent us another great text message to the Brunch Breakdown account, and I don't really understand this one, so we're going to talk about it. The Zomlet?
Yeah.
Is that what we're saying?
The Zomlet, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I'll explain what this is. And there's kind of two pieces that lead into the backstory of the Zomlet. One, I watch some of the Tonight shows. I follow them on YouTube, and occasionally they'll put out old interviews. And there was an old interview with Conan O'Brien and Jack Black, and he said he made a Zomlet, which was an omelet with pizza toppings. And then it made me realize that I had pizza eggs recently, and they were tremendous. So I think that this idea needs to happen. And it's really more of a promotional type of thing than anything that's all that weird, because this would essentially be a omelet with pizza toppings on it. So things like a margarita pizza, like you already put tomatoes in your omelet. You already probably put cheese in your omelet. So, chunks of tomatoes, spinach, cheese, there you have a margarita pizza zomlet. Okay. You also put things like sausage, pepper, onions in an omelet. Well, we can just throw them on an omelet, have it be open faced. You don't fold it over. It's just open faced. It's circular. And then you call it a zomlet, and people come and they eat it because they think it's cool. They think it's like, pizza eggs, but it's really, it's kind of, for the most part, a regular omelet that you're just not folding over. So that's the idea. And I did have pizza eggs. We had leftover pizza one day, and we just randomly decided to scramble it up with eggs, and it actually tasted really, really good.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Run that by me again.
Yeah, say that one more time.
How did that go? You had leftover pizza, and then you
put it in
eggs, or you put eggs on top of the pizza?
You scramble them all together.
What?
Not the crust, but you cut up the piece of the pizza.
Yeah.
You put it in the pan with your scrambled eggs. You scramble it all together so it gets all warm, and then you eat it with your mouth.
I am like, my mind is blown by this.
I don't know how much more simply I can explain.
You cut up pieces of the pizza, put it in with the egg, scrambled it all together. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Were you high?
No.
That sounds crazy. That idea to me. I can't imagine sitting there going, let's try this.
It was with my wife's parents. We ordered pizza the night before, and then we were doing breakfast in the morning. We were like, oh, let's give this a try. It was great.
Were they high? Did they bring some of that good Wisconsin weed down?
Not that I know of. Not that I'm aware of.
Because that just sounds like something that you do in college. That like you have the friend who like can cook a little bit and he's like just throw stuff into a pan.
Yeah, it does sound like a college thing to do. And maybe the omelet would be a real big hit on college campuses. Probably.
Yes.
Like I'm so intrigued by that idea. It sounds gross, but I feel like I need to try that now.
Yeah.
It sounds so weird, but
it's not that weird.
People thought it was good.
It's not that weird. Like I said, you put a lot of the toppings that you put on a pizza. You would put those in an omelet. Anyway, there's cheese on a pizza. You would put cheese on an omelet. So like really the only thing you probably wouldn't put on an omelet is tomato sauce. But instead of tomato sauce, you could do like salsa, which you would normally put on eggs.
Right. Now that I'll give you that because I've had egg bakes or whatever that have it's not pizza sauce or tomato sauce, but it ends up forming into some sort of, tomato based, if you use real tomatoes or whatever. So that aspect of it, I get how that would work. I think I just think of like pizza sauce on eggs sounds gross to me. Now this also brings up the whole, do you put ketchup on eggs? I don't know if we've had that actual debate on the Brunch Breakdown in the past, but let me ask you that, Chris. Do you put ketchup on eggs?
I don't. No, I don't like. I don't know. I've done it. But I never got it. When I did it, it didn't stick out to me like, oh yeah, that's something I should do all the time. I put hot sauce on eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No ketchup for me. All hot sauce. Tapatio to be exact.
Ooh.
Yeah. Mexican hot sauce. Best to put on eggs. That's just my opinion on that.
The zomelet.
The zomelet with 2 Z's.
The zomelet. Any reason for 2 Z's?
Because pizza has 2 Z's.
Oh yeah, that's right. Zomelet.
Like I don't know. I'm gonna have to try the cut up pieces of pizza in an egg thing, and then try a zomelet.
Oh,
You're right.
Here we go, Dan. We're going to the lake, and we're gonna order pizza on Thursday night, and then I'm making breakfast on Friday morning.
There it is. I cannot wait.
Video. We need video of that this weekend. That is the only thing that you guys have. You guys do nothing this whole trip.
Right.
I need you guys to take video of Chris making this because I think because I get it now, but I just wonder if all of our listeners understand exactly what is going on with this.
I understand if like you guys, if like my text, I wish that everybody to listen could be on our text message because not be able to respond, just be able to see what we text.
Just be a viewer.
Because most of my texts make no sense. And I totally understand like when you guys are like, that's stupid. Because I'm normally like thinking things through live as I text them to you guys. And the omelet was one of them. But I ended up kind of bringing it together, I think.
Because Didi, you made a point in the text where you're like, I can't envision pepperoni and eggs.
Yeah, I couldn't. But now I'm getting it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be your topping. Maybe some other people want it.
Right.
You're correct. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
I'm excited for brunch this
Pizza
weekend.
omelet, peanut butter and jelly beer. Let's go into something that I think a lot of people have an opinion about, and that is, should boneless wings be called something else?
Oh.
If you don't know the backstory of this, a very passionate man in Nebraska pleaded to his city council to name boneless wings something else because he says they are not chicken wings. How are you on the... First off, I got to ask you, do you guys like boneless wings? Do you like them over chicken wings? Which one do you like better?
I don't like them over chicken wings. Okay. I like chicken wings better, but I do like boneless wings, and I've also gotten ridiculed for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, Chris. I don't like them over regular wings. I will have them. I think it depends on where I'm having them because if it's a place that I know is putting chicken nuggets in sauce, like I don't need that. But in a Corona world where trying not to eat things with my hands all that much, the boneless wing isn't a terrible option if it's being prepared appropriately. So yeah, this was a very, very the video is hilarious because the guy is so serious. And in fact, when he starts bringing it up, somebody starts to laugh. He's just like, excuse me. He's being so serious about it. It's amazing. You have to find this video. But I think it's a worthwhile discussion and debate because they're not wings from a chicken minus the bone. That's not what it is at all. He goes into great detail as to why, but yeah, I think it's worth having a discussion here. I think they should be called something else because he's right. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. That's not what they are.
Yeah, they're just better chicken nuggets. Like I like chicken, so like I don't know why people get very passionate about the boneless wing thing, and I'm just like, I mean, it's chicken, it's fine, but no, it's not a chicken wing. It's not. I don't like them to be compared to or talked in the same sentence as like you're like I'm going to get wings, and then you're like, oh yeah, I want to order like 10 boneless. No, that's that. We're not doing the same thing. We're not.
Right.
We're not doing the same thing here. We are, you grab the bone, whether it's two bone or a drumstick, you just that's there's a whole experience with eating chicken wings that you don't have when you're just popping, boneless wings.
It is. It's different. And what do you think about some of his recommendations? I think there were saucy nugs or wet tenders, or some suggestions made in the video.
Wet tenders was the one that I wrote down. That's the one that I liked. I like
wet tenders.
Yeah, because I'm fine with that. Or like baby tenders, because chicken tenders are kind of long,
right?
So like baby tenders, wet baby tenders.
We're gonna open a restaurant with omelets and wet baby tenders. We're gonna be closed in 30 days.
And peanut butter and jelly beer, okay? And peanut butter and jelly beer.
People will come back for the beer, no doubt. I don't know.
Every one of those words just made me so uncomfortable.
Right. Wet isn't a great word I like to describe any sort of food with. Saucy nugs, but they're not nuggets necessarily either. Or unless, again, you're getting them in a place that literally does that and you're paying way too much for your saucy nugs. But like B-dubs, they've got good boneless wings. They do it appropriately.
Yeah. B-dubs is a place that I actually normally get the what are they called now? I have so many
wet baby tenders.
Sure, I'm not going to say that. That's one of the places I would get those because normally, like, you're watching a game too, and like with a bunch of people and like drinking beers and stuff like that, and I just don't like to have like stuff all over my hands, when I'm like trying. I don't know. So that's a place where I'll get them. But then like there are other places you go for chicken wings, and you're not gonna, like Didi said, you're not gonna go there and then not get actual chicken wings.
This is like the our good friend of the program, mayor of Flavortown, Guy Fieri. He often calls eggs liquid chicken, which I think is amazing. It grosses some other people out, but I think it's absolutely amazing. So
not wrong.
He's not wrong.
No.
Liquid chicken.
I don't like any of that. Like chicken, I eat more chicken than anything. And now like I'm going to think of all these gross names next time I eat chicken.
Dude, I don't know, but the things on our menu are kind of legit. Like, I don't know what kind of restaurant we have, but like,
we
wet baby tenders, liquid chicken.
We already have a steakhouse planned for Vegas. I don't think these can go on that menu, but...
That is for...
That's only for the text message chain.
Right. Yeah, that is, that is for the
only.
Text message chain.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let that one go.
Right. But tweet us your names to replace boneless wings. We need other suggestions because right now, wet baby tenders is the top of the leaderboard, and I don't know if that'll stick.
Wet baby tenders. My God. Okay. All right. Well, there's another story that happened in our text message. Food and situations. And since your beautiful wife can't come here to tell us the story, Chris, you have to let us know why Katie think certain foods are better in certain places?
Yeah, so we ordered pizza for the first time in a decent amount of time. I don't know. It was to say because I just finished a diet, so we were like, yeah, let's get some pizza. It'll be good. And
This explains the omelet, by the way.
well, one leads to another, Didi. Um, and we got home, brought the pizza home, and I started to get stuff ready to set up dinner. And Katie said, "No, put the regular plates away. Pizza tastes better when you eat it off of paper plates. It's meant to be eaten off of paper plates." And I was just like, what other food theories do you have? And that made me think, like, situationally, are there foods or drinks that are better in a certain situation? It could be outside, it could be inside, it could be like specific to that food or drink and how you may or may not consume it. So I kind of thought, like, I was running through things in my head. I was like, well, you know what? I don't know if I agree with her suggestion, but I was like, I personally have a few that might be kind of situationally dependent on things. And I was curious if you guys did as well.
Pizza at restaurants is the best way to eat pizza. Like at the restaurant.
Oh,
that is my favorite. That is the best way to eat pizza, is at a restaurant. Because, and I have a lot of childhood memories with that too. Like you go to Pizza Hut, whatever, because like used to eat in at Pizza Hut all the time. And like that's the best pizza. But when you get pizza at any restaurant, I feel like it is the best. It is in its best form, coming right out hot to you. That's what I think. And it's like there's just nothing better than that.
I could agree with that. Yeah, like it's hot and ready, and they bring it right to your table. It doesn't go in a car and then takes 20 minutes to get to your house. Yeah,
exactly. And that doesn't make it bad. It's just like there's just something about it. Like when it's coming to your table and that's yours. You know what I mean? That's your pizza with the extra pepperoni or whatever it is. Like there's just something about that experience and getting pizza that way. It's the best way to do it.
Weirdly enough, I completely agree with Katie in this situation with the paper plate thing. I do. I don't know why. And I'll even give it to like plastic plates, cheaper plates maybe could be allowable as well. But like real plates that you're using every day for meals and dinner, it just doesn't have the same vibe. So I'm on team paper plate for pizza 100% of the time. So Thursday night I expect to have paper plates, Chris. But I think hot dogs are always better. First of all, when somebody else is making them, they're always better when somebody else is making them. But they're better at a sporting event. You can argue at a barbecue and things like that. But for some reason, you give it to me in that foil wrapper that I could bring it out. It's kind of half soggy, put my own condiments on it, whatever. Hot dog at a sporting event, better every time. And sometimes it doesn't make sense because it's like a boiled hot dog some of the time, right? But it still tastes better than like one that's grilled in somebody's backyard. Just for me every time.
So I had hot dogs on my list as well. But it was that hot dogs are better when eaten outdoors. And I started to think, I was like, I don't even know the last time I've eaten a hot dog inside. And I think like if you eat hot dogs inside, like you might be a serial killer. Like there's something wrong with that. I don't agree with that at all. And I was thinking of some other foods like pasta salad, potato salad, stuff like that. Like eating that outside for whatever reason is better than being indoors and eating it.
No,
okay.
I agree. Other than the serial killer part, because I'm no serial killer, but I just love hot dogs. So I eat hot dogs inside a good bit, but I love hot dogs. But I get what you're saying because it is better. I also like when you're outside, because you're usually like in a, it's a cookout barbecue type situation with a bunch of people. It's fun. It's easy just to like, just everybody's just holding whatever they've got. And it's like, I like that situation. It makes me happy. Yeah. That whole thing. But yeah, that's why, hot dogs. And you don't care if it's burnt. You don't care how you make it. Nobody cares. You just grab it off the grill. You grab it off the, sitting on paper plates, been sitting on the table for however long. You just grab it, you eat it. Yeah, that's good. Another thing with games is like hot chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah, like hot chocolate at games at like football games, doesn't matter where you're at, if it's outside, I don't know what it is. That just tastes better than any hot chocolate in the world.
Mhm.
Like, doesn't matter where you're at, it tastes so good.
Yeah, especially late in the season when like you need it to survive the rest of the game. That's a clutch. It's a clutch grab.
Yeah, because and the thing is, it could just be gross. Like they don't have to make it. They could just literally hand you hot water. In those situations, it doesn't matter. But for some reason, they actually do it, and it tastes good. So,
Mhm. Speaking of drinks, I have a take on drinks as well. That really any type of drink is better not out of a can. It's better out of the fountain or out of the draft. So going like fountain drinks and pop and things like that. I don't drink stuff like that really anymore, but I remember as a kid I would never drink like a Coke or a Pepsi or anything out of a can. It would have to be out of a fountain with ice. It for some reason tastes way better to me that way. And I transitioned into adulthood, and that's the same way with beer now. Not like I dislike beer in cans, especially because that's the only way we can get it right now. But I think it's far, far better in a draft. You're guaranteeing the temperature and it being cold. It's really brewed better and stays better that way. I've kind of come to learn. So I think draft and fountain beverages are way better than any other way that you can get them. Chris, I know you have a take on a specific beer that you've mentioned before, Yingling, on how you like it. I think you prefer it in a bottle over anything else, right? Is that right? You like the bottle?
I prefer a bottle over a can for that specific beer, but I'm with you. I think if I could choose, if you would add draft to that, I would take it draft. And I think almost every beer tastes better when poured into a glass and you're able to drink it that way, except for like the mainstream light beers like Bud Light, Miller Lite, Coors Light. I don't think it matters how you drink those, and it's probably not worth wasting the time trying to pour it into a glass. Just drink it. It doesn't matter. You're probably gonna shotgun it anyway. That's what we do with those beers.
There is one other beer, actually, now that you list those, that I come to think of it. One of my favorites of all time, Pacifico. Give it to me in a bottle, 10 out of 10 times over the draft. Pacifico, better in a bottle than on draft.
I always had this other one that, and like you, Dan, I don't really drink pop anymore, but when I was younger and I always thought Coke tasted better in a can than a bottle, but Pepsi tasted better in a bottle than a can.
That's really bizarre.
That's weird.
Thanks. I used to drink them with my Zomlets, Dan. Screw you.
But it's just because the can thing makes sense. Because when you pop open a can, when you get a can of pop, it's like it's fresh. When the bottle sitting there, someone might not have closed the lid tight enough, so then you kind of get like flat soda. But like you don't get that with a can, unless the can's like 3 years old or something. But so can makes better, but flip flopping between the two. That's weird.
The opening, we'll have that at our restaurant too. You can only get Coke in a can and Pepsi in a bottle. And the opening of a can sounds much more natural than the opening of a bottle. When you open a bottle, it's just like, that like that doesn't sound enticing or refreshing or anything like that at all.
No.
Like when you open the can, that's a much better sounding. When you see those commercials, especially in like the Coke commercials during the holidays, during Christmas, they're always pouring a can of Coke and it's the, polar bears or whatever. You're hearing the crack of the can. You're not hearing out of a 2-liter jug. It just doesn't have that same feel.
That is true.
Shapes make a huge difference. Like Reese's shapes, like the pumpkin Reese's and the tree Reese's peanut butter cups are way better than the regular cups. Macaroni and cheese, the shapes are way better than the regular elbow noodles.
Why? Why
is that?
Why is SpongeBob so much better than regular elbows? Why is it that way?
It doesn't make any sense.
Questions. These are the things we need to know.
Cheese distribution.
I don't understand
it's got to be cheese distribution for mac and cheese. But I don't know why the Reese's are better. I really don't. There's we could do a whole segment on food shapes, and maybe we should cover this back up, especially with pumpkin season coming around and the holidays. Shapes get real weird and really good.
It's true because you got to think like I love Little Debbie snacks, right? But I love Christmas tree cakes.
There you go.
They put out the same thing all year
Same
long,
cake.
just in different ways. But the Christmas tree cake is better. Why is it better? I don't know. But they put the same thing out at Easter. They put the same thing out on the 4th of July. But the Christmas tree cakes are better and they sell out in like days. They put them out and then you can't get them until you like they put them out like probably around like after like Halloween or something. And then you can't get them again until like late December, like right before Christmas. Like they're just gone everywhere. And I just, for the life of me, don't understand what they do to the Christmas tree cakes. Oh, God.
I love this topic.
Dude, we will revisit shapes and we will yell at a lot of food companies and all of that. Well, guys, real quickly, this story is happening. It's actually ongoing in California. I can't get over it. Some idiot had a gender reveal party and they used pyrotechnics. I guess they were going to shoot some kind of freaking crazy fireworks into the sky to say if they were having a boy or a girl, and caught fire. 10,000 acres have been destroyed so far. The fire is only 5% contained as the time we are recording this right now. And they did this all over a stupid gender reveal. I think it's time we end gender reveals, guys. I think it's over. I think they've jumped the shark. I think it's done.
Yeah, I think it should have really never gotten as big as it did in the first place. I think it's kind of, a lot of them are stupid. This one was really stupid. I mean, if you need a reason to not do it, you need a reason to get out of it, your spouse wants to have one, you don't, bring up the California forest fire. Bring that up. And all the people that had to be evacuated are still being evacuated. The amount of acres that you just said, Didi, it's crazy. How people can be so dumb. Like, how hot is it already in California and you want to light things on fire? Like, just go and let the doctor tell you, or wait till it to be a surprise. We don't, you had the baby. That's the big announcement. You don't need like mid-baby announcements along the way. You know what I mean? You just get it going. See you in 9 months.
Exactly.
And we can bring this full circle with the first thing, my topic about getting it off your chest with social media. Like, okay, Didi has been against gender reveals since like the beginning of time. So, yes. And like, I could care less what the internet thinks about the family that I'm growing. But like, so many people they need to have like that huge aha celebration moment for the likes and the favorites and the comments and shit. And it's like, now you're burning down California, people. It has to stop.
Yeah. It's like, it didn't need to get bigger. It's like, no. If you want to throw a party, because it's we have lots of friends who have done these things or whatever, and it's like, it's fine. It's like not something that I ever wanted to do, and I just didn't do it. It's just like they just keep getting bigger and stupider. Like, it's like you have some people who are just like, you know what, want to throw a party. I'm going to have a kid. I'm going to surprise my parents, whatever. I'm going to throw some balloons into the sky or whatever. Cool. But then it turns into, I'm going to shoot pink dust out of the back of my like car. I'm going to like I'm going to burn down California. I'm going to do all these different things with fireworks and, basketball hoops and hitting a baseball bat. I'm like, what? Like, just call up your mom and tell her you're having a girl. Like, that's what I did. My mom cried on the phone. Like, that was cool. I'll always remember that. I didn't need it to be on. I didn't need to do all this whole thing for, a bunch of people to like it. And I just can't get over how big these things have gotten to the point where people are actually putting their family in danger.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's like, people like it and then like forget about it tomorrow. Nobody cares. So just like celebrate with your family. And like you said, Didi, we have tons of friends that have done it and it's fine. And like, if that's your thing, you want to do it, I'm not going to judge you for it. I don't care. But like, it's gotten way too.
Yeah.
If you're using pyrotechnics and need to grab 15 extension cords to reveal the gender of your baby, then you're doing it way, way wrong, and you need to stop.
Extension cord limit on these gender reveals. That's what starts to get better.
Yeah.
Think about the details in your wedding that you turned down because of the cost, and then you're going overboard with your pyro for your baby's gender. Just remember those days. Maybe that'll bring you back down to earth
You spend it all. You spend it all on the bows for your chairs, buddy. You can't shoot fireworks off for your baby. It's not gonna
right.
happen.
Do the cake with the everything's just ice and you cut it open and boom, there it is. Do it with for your family. Like you said, we've had friends that do it and it's fine. But when you're starting to endanger people's lives and thousands of people in their homes, pull it back. One day. It's one day.
Like one of these stories, because they're basically ever since this happened, like it's just been a field day of like epic gender reveal fails that all over the internet. And there was one where like they shot off fireworks and killed their grandma. Legit.
See there? That
this happened a couple of years ago. Like,
was it worth it?
It wasn't worth it.
I'm gonna guess no. I think no's the answer.
Big time no.
And then these poor children that are the result of your stupid decisions. This is gonna follow them for their entire lives. That's what people don't think about with the social media stuff too, man.
Yeah,
I'll live forever on the internet.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to bring like the flash mobs back or something. We just need to do something different. Like it's something else needs to happen. Safe
planking.
Yeah,
bring back planking.
There you go.
There's nothing to do anyway. Go plank.
Right. Yes. And we should bring back the extension cord thing for Christmas lights here in the next month or so.
Okay.
Because that was the extension cord limit. Yeah.
Yep.
My dad's gonna get really offended by that one. Anyways. All right, guys. Well, let's get into what we're listening to, which this week is gonna be a little special because you guys are going on a nice little trip this weekend, headed down to Deep Creek. So I'll let you guys get this playlist started off.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I'm going to start by keeping things new still. And it just so happened to work out that it's a very, we're at the end of summer here. And so kind of a end of summertime playlist to enjoy those last days of summer. So the first song I'm going to put on is by AJR, their new song that came out last week called Bummerland. Another quarantine song written and produced while in quarantine. The group of three brothers, AJR. Like the opening lyric of the chorus is Bummerland, here I am, better nix my summer plans. So it's just kind of talking about how this is Bummerland right now. Forget summer plans are canceled, but it still has that very catchy style that they always use. The use of horns, which they do really, really well. Those three guys produce everything themselves. Very, very crazy if you looked at any of the behind the scenes of how they create some of their songs. So Bummerland is lyrically a bit of a downer, but it's a really good summer song, especially for this year.
Canceling summer plans. It's topical for this year.
It is.
Yes, this trip we're going on has been rescheduled and
yes,
but it's going to happen. Okay. My first song, I don't know how it came into my life. I don't even know who the dude is. He could be super famous. I have no idea. Sammy Adams has a song called All Night Longer, and it's just about drinking and partying. And that's why I'm putting it on the list, because we're going to the lake and we're going to relax and we're going to have drinks and it's going to be a good time. So it's going on the playlist. Sammy Adams, All Night Longer.
I like it. Sam Adams, the rapper? Sam Adams?
No.
No?
Also not the brewer, Sam Adams.
Because I just wondered. I didn't know if like Sam Adams, because there was a rapper in like probably like 10 years ago or so. His name was Sam Adams, and he was like sort of popular. He was never really famous, but so I didn't know if he just changed his name to Sammy and like,
Well, I mean, I suppose I have no background on this person, so it could be. We'll find out. We'll tell you next week.
Well, yeah.
In my head, that's what I'm gonna say. That's what it is. I'm gonna start off with Big Sean just put out a new album, first album in like 4 years. I am a big fan of it. There's too many songs on it, but it's the first time we've heard Big Sean in a long time. And it has a song with Lil Wayne called Dawn Life that I am obsessed with. And I've just played it nonstop. And it samples Michael Jackson's Human Nature, but it's like a really sped up sample. And it's just an awesome song. And I just think you guys should definitely be playing that this weekend.
For sure. For sure. That'll make it.
By the way, This is the album that like Dave Chappelle randomly shows up on, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I listened to a lot of Big Sean this week, and I kind of like it all got mixed up because I knew the album was coming out. But yeah, that was a nice little treat. Dave Chappelle just shows up like 7 tracks into the album. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to an artist that I've once again If you haven't figured out which artists I put on this playlist by now, they all repeat. So this isn't a shock. But we're going summer themed songs. So I try to keep a little bit of a mix with the old and the new. A newer one by my favorite artist of this year, Benny, off her Stella and Steve EP. It's a song called "Find an Island." Kind of has, it's hard to describe it, but there is a tropical feel to it without being like reggae or something like that. But if alternative pop or indie pop can feel tropical in any ways, this is the song. It's in the name as it is anyways. Find an Island. It's going to be perfect for summer and perfect for our trip. Hopefully enjoying some sun this weekend.
I like that. To fit on the weekend plans, I'm putting "The Lake" is the name of the song by Galantis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
About partying at the lake. I don't really have a lot of extra details for you, but it fits and it's going on there.
And see, this song fits this, actually the whole EP. Play every song except for song 5 on this. I promise you. It's Nico Moon. He had a song that was that wasn't as big as it should have been on country radio. I thought it would have been last summer, but it didn't. But he put out an EP called Good Time. The song Good Time's amazing. All 4 out of these 5 songs are a good time. The 5th song is lame. But those 4, Drunk Over You is so good. Way Back, Paradise to Me, it's so good because the whole thing is just about having a good time, hanging with your friends, memories. That's just what the whole thing is about. And it all has this, what is happening in country right now, which they call like trap country is what they're calling it. And because it mixes hip hop and country like very, very well. And he does this as good as anybody does at the moment. So listen to that. Nico Moon, the Good Time EP. 4 out of the 5 songs are great.
Nice. Another one that I'll go with is a song that you may have heard. It picked up a little bit of steam. Actually came out last year, picked up some steam in the spring, and was pretty popular into the summer. City of Angels by 24 Karat Golden. I'm a big fan of his early work already. City of Angels, his first time I heard this song, I knew this kid was something special. And I think it's great. It has, again, that summery type of vibe, and it's talking about City of Angels. I mean, you already got me locked in right there with Los Angeles. I'm hooked. So it's a great upbeat, has a summery guitar riff with it. Another song of his, Mood, is pretty popular right now. That's another good one for the summer, but City of Angels, that'll definitely make the playlist.
Nice. My last one, it's also going to be the throwback song for this week, the retro replacement. T.I. and Rihanna, Live Your Life. And the reason being is because I have a partying memory with Daniel Dudley about this song. And since the theme here is partying, there was a time, this was like 2009, probably 2010, something like that.
Yeah.
We were about to leave a club and we had a ride ready to take us home. And as right after we left, we heard this song playing and we just did a U-turn and ran right past the bouncers, back into the club. And I don't really remember. I'm pretty sure we lost our ride that night. Not really sure how we got home, but it was totally worth it because this song was legit back in the day. So I wanted to put it on.
We not only lost our ride that night, but we ruined a friendship somehow. Because somehow the 2 people who were with us at the time, got mad at each other because we went back into the club for that song. And they never talked to each other after that. And if they are listening to this podcast, or if we post this clip, they will know exactly who they are. And they'll probably laugh. And it'll be great. So, yes, that's how good that song still is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, man. I am T.I. All right, guys. Usher is playing Vegas. And I feel like we need Usher on your playlist. So I am going to pick this week, I Don't Mind by Usher, him and Juicy J, because I find that song to be hilarious and fun, and it's breezy, and you can literally just play that song on repeat and just laugh, and everyone will be dancing. Usher, I Don't Mind.
I like it. I do have one more because I think
go for it, man.
A little bit more of a retro. I wanted to get a retro one in there too, but it's arguably one of the best summer party songs because of the name of the song is Summer by Calvin Harris. It's perfect for being on a boat, being out at a barbecue, being in a fire pit. If you're partying, playing pong, whatever it is an essential summer party song. And I think it's perfect for why we need this playlist. And again, I think it's arguably one of the best songs of the summer, party songs of the summer, especially because of the name is just way too fitting. So gonna have to put that one on there as well.
Like it. Chris, do you have a review of last week's?
I don't have any more songs, but I just wanted to thank you guys for introducing PJ Panda and Teddy Swims into my life, because I think if you go back to last week's episode, I still think that they should be best friends, and we need to find a way on the internet to connect these two people. But they were both very good. Those stood out more than anything. And shout out to Teddy Swims for the retweet. That was cool.
Yes, our dude, Teddy Swims.
Yes, Teddy Swims. Speaking of Teddy Swims, since we now know he's a Brunch Breakdown listener, we need Teddy Swims to put out more original music. Like,
right.
All of his music are covers.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fine. And he sounds great on them. But like, that Broke song sounds like nothing that he's covered. And I want to hear more of that.
Yeah.
Because
you're right.
Song's
because when I discovered him too, I started going through those covers and I'm like, this is a completely different style than this original song, Broke, which we put on last week's playlist. So he needs more of that. Big fan of the Brunch Breakdown. We're big fans of his. So more from Teddy Swims to come, we hope.
Yes. Big shouts to Teddy Swims. Well, boys, this has been a very hearty Brunch Breakdown. And we've got lots of food topics that we did not touch.
Right.
Surprisingly. So we got a lot to get to when it comes to that. But Dan, tell everybody where they can, check out the Brunch Breakdown.
They can find the audio podcast anywhere that you subscribe to podcasts, whether that be iTunes, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and as well as Spotify. So anywhere that you find your regular podcast, you'll be able to find us just by searching at Brunch Breakdown. And don't forget, the full video episode of the podcast comes out the same day the audio does. You'll be able to find that on our Facebook page as well as our YouTube page. You can just search Brunch Breakdown podcast there as well. And across all social media platforms, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. You follow us, we follow you back, including you, Teddy Swims.
I love it. Well, guys, have fun at Deep Creek. Enjoy the music. Enjoy the omelets. And I will see you guys next week at the table. Peace.